Hi, it's Mr. S, and this is the part 2 of the Nearpod video. If you haven't checked the part 1, I've described and explained how to search existing slides and creating your own slides. So check out the part 1 first and then come back to this part 2, which I'm going to talk about student-teacher view of the Nearpod. I'm going to actually use the live lesson, and we'll see how the student and teacher view is working, and also gonna suggest some things that you can do in classroom. Now the goal of this Nearpod videos is to understand how Nearpod works and to be able to use and create lessons. Use the existing or create your own lessons. Alright, so let's go to the next slide. By the way, this is the teacher view, sorry. This left side is the teacher view. The right bottom is the student view. If I move, the student view will also move. Right, so here's the slide. In part 1, I didn't have these two pictures, but I added. When you go to your Nearpod library, you'll have different slides. If you haven't created one, you won't see it, but once you create it, you'll have your slides, and if you bring your cursor on top of your slides, the picture on the left will show up. You can edit, take a look at the preview of the slides, drag and move around slides in order you want. Over here, the three dots, you'll be able to do a couple of things like looking at the reports or exporting into PDFs. Now, this too, student paste live lesson. If you click student paste, students can do the slides, look at the slides on their own, with their own pace. Live lesson, the teacher controls, like this, left and right, controls the presentation. Now, right now, it's a live lesson, and when you click live lesson, this code will show up. Not this code, but a code will show up, and students can join from this web code website, joinnearpod.com, join.nearpod.com, and enter this 5-letter, and they can get into the slides, the presentation. The next slide. From this next slide, I have a couple of activities that I wanted to share and show. So here's the first one. It's a 3D objects. So what the students or the students can do is rotate, zoom in, zoom out, and see different things. Right now I'm using Galaxy, but there are things like plants, cells, like those small, very small things like that you see on microscope. They have different things. I forgot. I can't remember everything, but please check out the 3D objects that are available in Nearpod. The next one is simulation. It's mostly science and math, but I want to show this area builder. So the student or the teacher can choose the level of difficulty and build an area of build the area that is asking. It says area 9, but if you think it's area 9, you can click check. If it's wrong, it says try again. Now I know it's wrong, so let me pull this out and say that's 9. Now, as you see, it doesn't have to be rectangle. It could be some weird shape. And if you check, got it. Maybe you can ask students, hey, create an area of this number and, compare with others, different shapes could be possible. Now, also right here, you can have grid lines or have side links. Right? Next slide is a virtual tour of Great Wall of China. there are different places that you can take a tour, so please check it out. Over here, you can actually go to VR, which is that, use that glasses and have students tour using it. You can move around, zoom in, zoom out, but that's pretty much you can do. Right. Next slide is time to climb. This time to climb is a quiz, but has a component of competing against each other. So what the teacher does first is to select a theme from the 3 choices. The student will choose a character from the list. There are like 4 or 5 lists, pages. Once it's done, click start. Once all students are in here, the teacher will click start and the time to climb activity will start. I clicked it, so give me a moment. Okay, and here it goes. Now the goal of the student is to answer correct and correctly answer it quickly to earn higher points and competing against each other. If they choose wrong, it's gonna go wrong. No, if they choose answer, they'll have some points earned, which is determined by the speed. Now, when you do this time to climb, please be careful that 1, some students do not like competing. 2, there are students that are good at this and not good at this, like those quick retrieval of information. So that could send a message, like a negative message of, oh, I'm not good at this. So please be careful when doing this one. If you don't want to have a competing component, just give a quiz, which is in this Nearpod. Not in this slide though, but it's in the Nearpod. It's one of the activities. Now here is the next activity. It's open-ended question. The student will type in the answer from this question. Once they done, they click submit. And over here, the teacher will be able to see the student name, the answer that they responded, and oh, and there's one column right here that's going to show up. It says share. This teacher can share the student's post if they want to. Here's the next one. It's a draw it. The student can draw inside the background image that's in here. They also can type in text, like something, I don't know. Whoa, They also can upload images if they want to. Once the student is done responding, they submit. Like the previous open-ended question, this draw it can be shared to other students by clicking share. Now, let me go to add activity that I want to do. If you click here, there are 5 things that you can do during the lesson. Web content, open-ended question, draw it, slide, and true or false. And on a web content, you can have students go to some kind of web address. Just show the open-ended question, draw it, and slide. And true false is just saying, is this true or false? You type in the instruction or question and the student will answer either true or false. It's going to be good just to quickly check students' understanding. If they think it's true, they click true. If it's false, they click false and they submit. The student name will show up here, and whether they answered it true or false will show up here. The teacher can share the class overall performance, whether they got it correct or incorrect or didn't answer, by clicking this share. and it'll look like this. It'll show up this bar right here over here. Once the activity is done, the teacher will click here, close the activity, and finishes it. And it'll go back to the slide that they were in. The last one is collaborate. The students will be able to post something and they will be able to show it to other students. Now, before that, the teacher has to do something. If the teacher click yes, the teacher has to approve the student's post before the post can be seen from different students. I'm going to click yes. So what happens is the student will type in some kind of post. It could be image, and they're going to post. Now, as you see, it says pending approval over the teacher's side. The teacher have to click here and have to approve it or disapprove it. If this teacher approves it, all students will be able to see this student's post. Now, as you see, the student name is not here compared to this one, the teacher's version. So if you want the students to show their name, they have to type it. Alright, so that's the end of the activities. And here are the suggestions that I would like to make inside the classroom and outside the classroom. So inside the classroom, or even outside the classroom, response from students at once can be done. So, like in classroom in general, a teacher asks a question and then picks a couple of students one at a time and get a response. But if you use Nearpod, you'll be able to get a response from students at once. So you ask a question and use like draw it, collaborate, open-ended question, things like that, and get the response at once, and then start the discussion by selecting the ones that you need. Games, questions, those virtual tours that I did can engage students very well. So this is one really good part about Nearpod. It increases engagement. However, be careful that you need an internet access. You and the students need internet access. Now, outside the classroom, not only these response can be done from students at once, these pros. In addition to those pros, you can do it even outside the classroom. Like, use it as a discussion. Even though you're away from the classroom and you won't be able to see students, you can still have this Nearpod and show it to students. Show the slides to the students. Now you might want to combine this with like Skype or something so that you can talk with students with Skype or Google Meets and show the slides using Nearpod, which I do. Be careful that, again, you need your internet access at home. You and the students need your internet access at home. Alright, so that's the end of the slides. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe my channel if you think this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.